Welcome back, Cowboys Nation, to another deep dive episode where we break down the hottest Dallas Cowboys rumors and bring you some eye-popping storylines that are stirring conversation all around the NFL. If you're a true fan, buckle up because this one is packed with intriguing possibilities. We're going to get into a sizzling Q&A style discussion about whether the Cowboys should consider signing elite talents like Nick Chubb, Asante Samuel Jr., or even reuniting with veteran corner Stephon Gilmore. And that's not all. There's major buzz surrounding Jaydon Blue and the idea that he could actually emerge as a starting option in the Cowboys' backfield. Stick with us to the very end because what we're about to explore could hint at the direction this franchise is heading in 2025 and beyond. Now, we've been hearing a lot of talk across social media and in NFL insider circles about the Cowboys potentially making some headline-grabbing moves. Let's kick things off with one of the biggest names that's been popping up lately, Nick Chubb. Yes, you heard that right. The four-time Pro Bowler, the ground and pound maestro from the Cleveland Browns, is in a contract year and recovering from a serious knee injury. But whispers of a fresh start in Dallas have Cowboys fans dreaming of a revamped rushing attack. The idea of Nick Chubb wearing the star is as tantalizing as it is controversial. On one hand, Chubb would immediately give the Cowboys the type of bruising, dependable backfield threat that has been sorely missed since Ezekiel Elliott's prime years. On the other hand, you have to consider the financial implications and the uncertainty surrounding Chubb's return from injury. Still, Cowboys fans are asking, should Jerry Jones take a calculated risk and go all in on Nick Chubb to give this offense a true workhorse again? Adding Nick Chubb to this offense would be a statement move. Just imagine pairing a healthy Chubb with Tony Pollard's former speed profile, except now it's Rico Dowdle or perhaps the emerging rookie Jaydon Blue that could be rotating with him. Chubb brings a physicality and vision that you just don't coach. Even in a limited 2023 season due to injury, he showed flashes of his trademark ability to drag defenders and fight for extra yards. If the Cowboys want to recommit to being a tough, balanced offense that can control the tempo of the game, especially in December and January, Chubb would be a legitimate solution. But the concerns are real. He's going to command a contract that reflects his status as one of the best in the business when healthy. Do the Cowboys want to tie up significant cap space in a player whose long-term durability is in question? Or is it worth the gamble considering the window to compete with players like Dak Prescott, Micah Parsons, and CeeDee Lamb is right now? Switching gears to the defensive side of the ball, another name stirring up conversation in Cowboys Nation is Asante Samuel Jr., the second-generation NFL talent, currently with the Los Angeles Chargers, has been linked to Dallas through rumors that suggest a potential trade or off-season move could be in the works. Now, Asante Samuel Jr. isn't just a name recognition player, he's developing into a legit coverage threat who can hold his own against top-tier receivers. What makes him even more attractive is his youth and versatility. He's quick, instinctive, and has an edge to his game that would fit in nicely with Dan Quinn's or now Mike Zimmer's aggressive defensive philosophy. With Trayvon Diggs returning from a torn ACL and Darren Bland looking to build on his breakout year, could Asante Samuel Jr. be the final piece of a potentially elite secondary? As much as fans love the idea of star power and headline-grabbing names, Asante Samuel Jr. also represents long-term upside. Unlike older veterans, he's still ascending in his career. His ability to read quarterbacks and make plays on the ball makes him an ideal fit for a Cowboys defense that thrives on takeaways. Now the question becomes, what would it take to bring him to Dallas? A mid-round draft pick? A player-for-player swap? And would the Chargers even consider moving him? There's no concrete report of trade talks heating up yet, but where there's smoke, there's often fire. And Samuel's recent activity on social media, including liking Cowboys-related posts, has only fueled speculation. If the Cowboys are serious about shoring up their secondary and adding a playmaker who can contribute for years to come, Asante Samuel Jr. should absolutely be on the radar. But what about a more familiar face? That's right, Stephon Gilmore. The former NFL Defensive Player of the Year suited up for Dallas last season and proved that even in the latter stages of his career, he's still got the savvy and skill to hang with the league's best receivers. Gilmore brought leadership, stability, and championship experience to the Cowboys locker room. He played through injury and served as a mentor to younger players like Darren Bland. Now that he's a free agent, many fans are wondering if a reunion could be on the table. And let's be honest, Gilmore's presence gave the Cowboys a swagger on defense that you just can't quantify on a stat sheet. Re-signing Stephon Gilmore wouldn't be a flashy, future-building move like acquiring Asante Samuel Jr., but it would be a smart one. With Diggs coming off injury, it would make sense to have a steady veteran presence on the opposite side, someone who understands the nuances of the game and can be counted on in critical moments. Plus, Gilmore is already familiar with the Cowboys system and culture, which means he wouldn't need a learning curve. The only caveat here is age. At 33, Gilmore's best years are clearly behind him, but as we saw last season, his football IQ and technique still make him a highly effective player. If the price is right and Gilmore is open to returning, this is a move that could provide both stability and mentorship in a young, evolving secondary. Now let's shift back to the offense, because we've got to talk about Jaydon Blue. Yes, the University of Texas product who went undrafted but is already turning heads at rookie camp and OTAs. There's a real buzz building around Blue, and the word out of Dallas is that he might not just make the final roster, he might actually be in the mix for serious playing time, maybe even a starting role. Crazy? Not really. When you dive into the tape and examine the situation in the Cowboys' backfield, Jaydon Blue is in the perfect storm to surprise everyone. With Tony Pollard gone to the Titans and no major free agent back signed, at least not yet, the Cowboys' backfield is wide open. Sure, Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn are returning, but neither has proven they can carry the load as a true starter in the NFL. Enter Jaydon Blue, a shifty, smooth runner with excellent vision and the ability to contribute in the passing game. During his time at Texas, he often played in the shadow of other backs, but make no mistake, Blue has the skills to carve out a role for himself. He runs with patience, isn't afraid of contact, and has the kind of burst that makes defenders miss in space. If he can prove himself in camp and preseason, he has a legitimate shot at becoming a surprise starter, especially if the Cowboys don't make a splash move like signing Chubb. Jaydon Blue's rise would be a classic Cowboys storyline. Underdog defies the odds, earns his spot, and becomes a difference maker. The coaching staff is reportedly impressed with his football IQ and work ethic. He's hitting the weight room hard, mastering the playbook, and showing flashes during walkthroughs. If he keeps this up and proves he can pick up blitzes and stay healthy, don't be surprised if he jumps ahead of Dowdle and Vaughn on the depth chart. The Cowboys have been searching for an identity at the running back position since moving on from Zeke. Could Jaydon Blue be the answer? It's early, but the whispers are getting louder, and his name is one that fans should get used to hearing more often. Let's also consider the fact that this coaching staff, particularly new offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, values versatility in the backfield. Blue can catch passes, run inside and outside, and line up in different formations. That's huge. If Dallas wants to keep defenses guessing, Blue might be the kind of all-purpose weapon they need. And let's face it, if the Cowboys can develop an impact player like Blue on a rookie deal, it would be a major win for a team looking to manage the cap while remaining competitive. There's also the storyline of hunger. Blue has a chip on his shoulder from going undrafted, and those kinds of players often become fan favorites for a reason. He's got something to prove, and what better place to do it than under the lights of AT&T Stadium. So where does that leave us? Should the Cowboys go all in on a star like Nick Chubb, or should they trust the youth movement with Jaydon Blue? Do they bolster the secondary with a young up-and-comer like Asante Samuel Jr., or do they lean on experience and bring back Stephon Gilmore? The beauty of this current Cowboys roster is that there's flexibility, but there are also critical decisions to be made that could shape the course of the 2025 season. Jerry Jones and the front office have been relatively quiet this offseason by their standards, but make no mistake, moves are coming. The only question is, will they be the right ones? The Cowboys are in a pivotal window. Dak Prescott is still chasing that elusive deep playoff run. CeeDee Lamb is blossoming into a top 5 wideout. Micah Parsons is a generational defensive talent entering his prime. The pieces are there, but the front office has to surround them with the right support. That means investing in key positions like running back and cornerback. It means being proactive, not reactive, when talent becomes available. Whether it's a splash signing like Chubb, a savvy trade for Samuel, or a quiet but meaningful reunion with Gilmore, the Cowboys can't afford to be passive. As training camp approaches, these questions will only intensify. Fans want answers. They want hope. They want to believe that this is the year the Cowboys finally break through the playoff ceiling and make a serious run. And while we won't get all the answers today, discussions like this, talking through the options, analyzing the possibilities, and staying informed are exactly how a passionate fanbase stays engaged and energized. So let's hear it, Cowboys Nation. Do you want to roll the dice on Nick Chubb and go back to a power run identity? Do you want the youth and upside of Asante Samuel Jr. patrolling the secondary? Or are you in favor of bringing back the veteran presence of Stephon Gilmore to lead this defense? And what do you think about Jaydon Blue? Can he actually seize the opportunity and become the next breakout star for America's team? Hit that comment section and let your voice be heard, because these are the kinds of debates that fuel our community and keep the passion alive. If you made it this far, thank you for being part of the conversation. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow Cowboys fans, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update on all things Dallas Cowboys. We've got a huge season ahead of us, and you won't want to miss a moment of the action. This has been your trusted source for Cowboys news, rumors, and insight, and we'll catch you on the next one. Go Cowboys!